Hi, Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk mountain weather and ski conditions. And I'm going to run this all the way out to the start of this upcoming weekend so you can see how this plays out with the pattern. To say the least, this is going to be a challenging pattern for a lot of the West. That's why I start out with the watch warning advisory map from the National Weather Service. Notice on it, there really isn't anything for snow across the West. It's a few high wind warnings, some advisories for critical fire conditions, and that is it. That is a really quiet highlight map for the West, unfortunately, right now from the Weather Service. And everything that I'm seeing, there's really only two players in this extended forecast this week into this upcoming weekend, and I'm going to show you both and how they play out. So let's go over to radar and satellite. What we're dealing with is this very large dome of high pressure that I have marked. So all the weather is going to be forced up and around, basically into Canada, into British Columbia, and all the way around. So this high is going to be the main player for the week. So that will have a definite effect on our weather for the West. So let me take you out just to widen it up here into the Pacific Northwest. So there are two different highlights, two different bright spots in my forecast. One of them is going to be the Pacific Northwest. And by that, I mean this is where most of the moisture is going to go. And by that, it's British Columbia, it's Western Canada, it's Western Banff, it's Whistler, Blackcomb. That's really one of the places you're going to want to watch through the week into the upcoming weekend if you're wanting the big snows. Even Washington and Oregon, while there's a little bit of precip there now, that's even going to shift north up into Canada. So that area of clouds is going to spin off a cutoff low, and that's the second thing I'm watching for the week. So let's look at the jet stream. Giant ridge taking over across the West. In other words, the jet is going to be arcing. Look at where the green is. The polar branch of the jet is way up into Canada on Thursday on the clock here. That green, it's arcing way up. So that takes all the storminess and throws it up into Canada, leaves the West high and dry. The exception, the second part of this, is this cutoff low. You can see the southern branch now becoming more active of the jet, coming into southern Cal, into Arizona, New Mexico, and the Four Corners. That will take a cutoff low and throw it into that area. That's the other place to watch on Thursday and into Friday as that southern branch brings that cutoff low in. But once that moves through, by Saturday, it's gone. And look at this giant dome of high pressure that has built in across the Intermountain West. There's nothing getting through that on Saturday. So what's the impact of all this on the actual precip on the ground? Let's look at the future radar and the satellite, and I'm going to play this out, and we're going to go all the way through the end of the week here to see how this precip plays out across the West. So there we are at the current state of affairs. The snow in southern Colorado, that exits, and everything starts to be directed up there into the Pacific Northwest, and I mean like Canada for that matter, like British Columbia and those areas that I had pointed out a little bit earlier. So that's where the blue is going to be. As we go from Sunday to Sunday night into Monday morning, there you go. That's where all the snow is going to be, all the way up into Canada. I mean, look at the lower 48. By Tuesday, it's the same thing. Running from Tuesday into Wednesday, it's the same exact thing. It's all up into Western Canada at that point. Now, we start to see some changes right here. There it comes. So this is the other thing to watch. This cutoff low coming up from the south. There is an actual area of low pressure here. A couple of things to point out with this. When you get in, source region matters. So this came out off the Pacific. It's being escorted in on the southern branch, which means it's going to be warmer. It's going to be warmer across the board. So we're going to see more of a rain-snow line be a player with this low as it comes in from the south. That's Thursday morning. The movement will take it into Colorado between Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and Friday. I'll stop it at Thursday at 5 p.m. Notice it may, on the northern periphery, it may brush the Wasatch. Probably Sundance down to Bryan Head would be the best shots of snow in Utah. Now, in Colorado, I like Telluride, Silverton, Wolf Creek, Taos down in New Mexico for some of the better chances of snow there on Thursday. Now, by Friday morning, as I push this clock ahead, from Thursday night into Friday morning, the low will continue to slide through Colorado. It will take the moisture along with it. So there you go. And again, some of this, because it's warmer, it's going to be a snow line problem. Some of this will be rain in some of these very lowest valleys in the mountains. All right, so that's Friday morning. And notice there's another storm hitting the Pacific Northwest on Friday morning at 5. Now, also recall the big ridge that's protecting by Saturday morning that builds back at jet stream level across the Intermountain West. So I'm going to roll this future radar and satellite out Friday afternoon, Friday night into Saturday morning to see where things end up here. And notice there isn't anything in Wyoming, Utah, Idaho, Colorado, New Mexico. It's just some clouds. All the precip is hanging out off the west coast. So what will be the impact of this on snowfall? So between today and Monday morning, you might pick up another inch or two in southern Colorado, but now it becomes a Canada event. So look at the numbers tick up: Revelstoke, Marmot Basin, over to Whistler, Blackcomb, a little bit over Baker, Stevens Pass, not a lot. Between Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, there's really not a lot happening other than Whistler, Blackcomb. Now between Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, Thursday morning on the clock, the numbers, a couple of things happening. Whistler goes up a little bit. Notice the blue starting to encroach on Bryan Head in southern Utah. There comes that cutoff low. Now here, between Thursday night and Friday morning, we'll start to see more of an impact from that cutoff low, and snow amounts will be going up. And again, it might brush the Wasatch just barely, looking about an inch, maybe 2. But really the big winner out of this by Friday morning is Silverton, the San Juan Mountains of Colorado, Monarch, down at Wolf Creek especially, and Taos, Angel Fire. All of those areas. So if I was skiing on Friday, I would keep an eye on a few areas. The ones I mentioned, and also up to Whistler, Blackcomb. You're going to start to add some big totals from Friday into Saturday as well. So let's end this animation on Saturday morning so you can get an idea, at least at this point, and again, this is way down the road of what we're looking at. Whistler could add quite a bit, and Baker might get brushed. So Friday, Saturday, I would watch those areas, and also southern Colorado and northern New Mexico for some of the biggest totals. That's the way it looks at this point. I'll keep an eye on it all week, run some updates for you. Always appreciate you tuning in here. Take care.